We have Mr. Oscar Onwudiwe, who is a public affairs analyst. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
We just heard from the police because we did ask him how they arrived really quick in that conclusion. But he says it's owing to community engagement. And what do you make of that now?
Let me just say, first of all, we need to be grateful to a person like Mr. Moshood. He's working really hard. He's working really hard. I don't envy him. I don't wish to be in his position where I have to, at all times, try to defend what is not too easy to defend. But he's working very hard. I don't know what type of relationship they have with the community. I'm from Anambra State. I've never heard of anybody telling us of, how they relate with the police and how they pass on information to the police and how the police can easily jump to conclusion within 2 hours of anything that has gone wrong, they tell you. Now, question, how come? How come, with all the checkpoints we have everywhere, nobody saw a movement that is suspicious?
In terms of who, the residents or the security agencies?
I'm talking security agencies now. Then I saw your clip, and I was looking for a time somebody would go to one human being. In that church, there were over 100 people. One human being to say, did you see the man that was shooting? What was he wearing? What did he look like? Did they come with a vehicle? What type of vehicle did they come with? I've not heard anybody ask that question. I've not even heard the police talk about it. They've arrested 3 suspects. Okay, fine. They're doing their job. But we're looking, they showed us villagers, in the morning mood, we're not feeling too good. Everybody has lost somebody here. Of course, our governor was there. Yes, he shows care. He's supposed to show care.
You were not satisfied with the briefing that was given to the governor while he arrived at the scene by the police?
Oh yes. We would have done more. Even the journalists on ground should have done more. Ask around. Did anybody see that person?
But they have asked, and some of the reports out there is that there was a black vehicle, and the person who came in and shot was hooded, and nobody could see his face.
Oh, good.
Even the priests also spoke about how he came in, they were hooded, and nobody could see their faces.
I had a different one. I called Ozubulu. What did I hear? The man was wearing camouflage. He was dressed like a soldier. Now, the vehicle was a Hilux. It was not black in color. It was white.
So they're different accounts.
So the truth is that nobody has gotten to it. So if these people have already concluded, well, yes, we know what is going on, and now what are they going to do? What are they going to do? They say, do you know how many hours or how long we took discussing police promotion? Lives, innocent lives were lost. We're not really outraged. And when we talk about it, we have time to be praising the people we need to praise. We're really not outraged as a nation. And we're talking about people who left their house to go worship.
Let's talk more about those people then. See, people are really concerned and wondering what the link is. How comes violence from wherever the origin is and then ending up in a church? What's the link? I mean, people can't understand it up to this time.
Thank you so very much, because I'm still looking for the link. Let me tell you. The little we know, the little we've read or we've seen on television about drug wars, they are very professional when they want to kill. And they go for their targets and they snuff the target out. So who was the target? How come it is these little kids, innocent people who have gone to pray? How come? How come it is, how many people you're shooting? Who was the target? The police has not been able to say, because first of all, I saw one of your consultants who was talking about you go into the mind of that criminal and then you can begin to imagine his thought process. Let's go into the mind of the person that shot. And then you ask yourself, who was he looking for? You can't connect it. What do you want? You cannot connect it. Will a Christian go into a church and start killing people? It's not very normal. It doesn't really happen. You can't connect it. But we already know, oh yes, and then there's another theory. Oh, there's this war between this guy from Ozubulu who built the church and then you have some other people from Mbise. Mbise is like a local government. So Ozubulu is one town, Mbise is a local government.
Does this have to do with chieftaincy titles, do you think? Because there are some narratives that suggested this is a fight
I just, you see, part of it is this. Part of what we're discussing is how stupid all of us have happened to become. Somebody tells you chieftaincy title, so we go to church to go and get chieftaincy title by killing people, right? Because the traditional ruler was sitting in the church, or what? He wasn't there. You see, we've opened the door, and that's because they narrowed our thinking. Oh yes, there's a drug thing. We even had one of your consultants come in here and said to himself, oh yes, you see, this thing has been going on for long. The first time he visited South Africa, that the immigration officer was asked him where he was from. And he said to him that he's Yoruba. He said, okay, good. Since you're Yoruba, that's good, because the Igbos here are doing drugs. Everybody just being stupid. I've not seen one person talking sense here.
Make sense out of it for us.
Oh, first, what sense does it make what the consultant said to you yesterday? What sense does it make to you? How many doctors do you think? Do you know how many Nigerian doctors you have in South Africa? How many of them are from the Igbo race? Do you know how many nurses you have? Do you know how many pharmacists you have? There is a street in Johannesburg, start to finish, a very long street. You want any telephone, that's where you go. You want any electronics, that's where you go. Who are the people there who pay taxes and they're living there legitimately? During the xenophobic problem, we saw them. Where are they from? So you don't go there, you don't even come and sit on television and tribalize. That's all we're doing. Moshood is busy praising the police, or praise every other person he needs to praise. And this creation of us and them, we have a national problem, and we're not thinking of how do we begin to come together, bring our best brains and go after this. No, it is like, who is this? And because, oh God, it's so, I feel so pained.
Well, you know,
I still don't get your point in the sense you're trying to make out of what has happened in Ozubulu.
What has happened?
And then trying to unravel it.
What has happened in Ozubulu, I'm not one of those consultants. What has happened in Ozubulu is that there are more questions than answers. There are more questions than answers. I have never seen a situation where the first thing you do is to say, oh yes, some people came to the church to shoot somebody, definitely. Then immediately there's a conclusion. Because according to Moshood, there is this interaction with the villagers. The villagers in Ozubulu who know what is going on in South Africa, and then they know that this was going to happen, then why did they present themselves at the churches? To be killed? Oh yes, there's a drug war going on, so immediately they got it, and because there's a drug war going on, then they were there and the people came and decided they were coming to the church to kill. They no longer go to people's houses. They were killing in South Africa, I heard. But how come they didn't go to the church in South Africa to kill? Why the choice of a church?
What do you think?
What I think, I don't even know what to think anymore. I don't even know what to think anymore. I just don't think that we're going in the right direction and that we're going to solve this thing. I don't believe it.
But was it to indict perhaps the person who built that church?
I will have nothing to do with that man. As far as I'm concerned, whoever built the church has nothing to do with the people who died. I am concerned about lives. I'm not concerned about the people who want to kill themselves or those who are doing drugs. People have been doing drugs before I was born, and it will continue long after I'm dead.
But this scene of this crime seems to suggest to many that it is a church, but it wasn't as